What's up guys, Lvladen here, and today I'm coming at you with a video talking about the upcoming Season 4 PvP changes and class changes in general. Now, shockingly, we got a ton of buffs and nerfs to different specs, so I'm going to go ahead and go over them right now and talk a little bit about how I think they'll affect Red Paladin. So why don't we start off with Paladin to begin with right here. So this is something that, oddly enough, I've been asking for a while, and then when I saw it in person, I reacted a little bit negatively. So Avenging Wrath, the damage healing and crit chance is getting nerfed by 5% in PvP combat. But our Hammer of Wrath is getting buffed by 15%, Crusader Strike by 30%, and Blade of Justice by 20%. These are all numbers that I'm going to have to test and feel out and see how it performs in PvP. But I think overall this is a good direction for the game, and I think this is the way that a lot of classes should be going. However, I think these numbers should be much, much higher. For example, Crusader Strike hits like 1100 on a plate wear in PvP combat. It does very, very little damage, and it's also one of our lowest priority abilities. I think the buff to Blade of Justice is nice. 20% is fairly decent. Hammer of Wrath could be larger. I miss the days when Hammer of Wrath would do like 40% of someone's HP. But again, the game has changed. It's based around cooldowns. But overall, I think this is really good damage, really good for the game, increasing consistent damage. Now let's go to the top here. So we have Nerfs to A-Bomb Limb. Cool. I think Unholy A-Bomb Limb is doing a massive amount of damage, and Spell Warden is really annoying to fight. So these are both getting nerfed. That's great. Dancing with Fate Conduit now 75% effective in PvP combat. Wasn't 100%. Very small nerf to Havoc Demon Hunters right there. Deathborn. Spell damage decreased to 10% in PvP combat. Was 15% in Canner's Flow. No longer is reduced. So is this going to be an overall plus for mages? It might be. Missiles, buffed again. Cool. Arcane is still pretty irrelevant at the moment, so we'll see how this goes. Blazing Soul, this is the change, ladies and gentlemen. Blazing Soul now ignites a barrier for 50% effectiveness. Fire mages might finally not be as tanky. Might not be the tankiest class in the game. That would be nice to see. Killing RMPs is always good, because let me tell you, I finally started fighting rank 1 RMPs, or close to rank 1 RMPs at the end of the season here, and there's such a massive difference between a good RMP and a bad RMP, but those good RMPs are immortal. It is so difficult to kill them, so anything reducing Fire Mage's tankiness is welcome in my opinion. Frost, Ice Lance, damage increased by 15%, that's cool. Frozen Orb by 20%, also cool. Consistent damage increase is always nice. Ice Lance doesn't hit too hard anyway, so I'm not super worried, but there are Ice Lance builds out there, so we'll have to keep a lookout for. I believe it was Venthyr Frost Mage that plays the Ice Lance spec, so maybe that makes a comeback. That would be really cool to see. Now we have Mistweaver Monk. Rising Sun Kick and Blackout Kick, dealing 25% increased damage each. Mistweaver doesn't really do too much damage right now, so I'm not too concerned about this at all. Honestly, they probably could have buffed them even more, but we'll see. We'll see going into the next season. Now we have Holy Priest here, Greater Fade. 15 seconds added to the cooldown. That's awesome. I still think Holy Priests have too many free outs, and this is just another nerf to their already insane toolkit. A little bit of a nerf to their set bonus as well, and a tiny bit of a Flash Heal nerf. Not quite sure why Flash Heal is nerfed. It does do good healing, but I feel like where their insane heals come from is Serenity and Serenity resets, but that's okay. Heal nerf a little bit as well. That's okay as well. More big grateful nerfs right here. I'm so happy that these are coming in. Invigorating Shadow, reducing the cooldown of your other abilities by 10 seconds rather than 20 seconds. Like 20 seconds was too much, guys. That was way too much because you could Kidney Shot, Vanish, re-Kidney Shot as an Outlaw Rogue. So 7-second Vanish, reset kidneys were nuts. Now you shouldn't be able to do that as quick. It'll still be close, but you're not going to be able to double kidney. Sepsis looks like it's getting nerfed a little bit. Abyss on sub getting nerfed a little bit. That's okay. I don't think it's too insane. Resto Shaman, Chain Heal is getting unnerfed in PvP combat. I'm not sure why this was nerfed in the first place, because Chain Heal doesn't do too much. But yeah, that's cool. Our Shaman can take any of the buffs that it can get at this point. It's still not the best healer, but it's it's still a little bit better than it was earlier in the season. So maybe this will put it over the edge. We'll see. Health Funnel increased by 20% in PvP combat, so they're making Warlock pets die a little less. And what is this, guys? What? Unstable Affliction damage increased by 15%, but it can no longer crit when being dispelled. But the dispel damage is increased by 20%. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I already think Affliction does a ton of damage. I don't think Affliction's lack of damage is the problem with it in PvP. It's actually fairly good in PvP right now. Dark Soul Misery decreased by 10% in haste. That is, So they're going to have a little bit less burst. That's okay. Corruption damage increased by 30% in PvP combat. I don't know how I feel about this. We'll see. Affliction is probably just going to be super, super, super ultra meta in rated BGs now. I mean, it already is, but yeah, it's going to be even better. Fell Hunter interrupt on demonologies decreased by 6 seconds. That's cool. Yeah, and that's about it for the PvP changes here. This season, guys, I'm shocked that they actually came through with new PvP changes, and I'm very, very excited to see this upcoming season. We're not going to have to upgrade our legendary. We're not going to have to farm new conduits. Everyone's actually going to get access to the 278 conduits. So they're pulling out almost all the stops. Not quite all the stops, though, but just enough to make a difference in the PvP arenas here. A few more things to go over. Spinning Crane Kick, damage reduced by 5% overall for mages here. Clear casting is going to last 5 seconds longer. Raptor, Mongoose, and Kill Command going to do 15% more damage here. Wildfire Bombs are going to do 10% less damage on the 4-piece set bonus. That's okay. Starfall getting increased by 15%. None of these changes are too impactful in PvP. Okay, I almost thought Chaos Bolt was getting buffed. But Incinerate and Immolate are getting these buffs. I know they talked about this in a little bit about this in the prior patch, but then they pushed it off to Season 4. So, yeah, we're going to catch these Warlock slight buffs in PvP here. But that's okay. There's still... Destro itself is at least a tiny bit more squishy than Demo. But guys, that's about it for these class update notes. I'm very excited for Season 4 now that we're getting changes, and apparently more are coming. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what else they are going to buff or nerf in terms of PvP. But guys, I hope you all enjoy the next upcoming season. I'm going to cover tons of Dragonflight Alpha in the near future, and make sure you tune into the Twitch streams, twitch.tv/LvladenPvP, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.